Sex is a gift from God. Haven't had it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. But sex is like a nuclear plant. It's like a lion in a cage. Sex is very potent. Any sexual activity. The safest place for sex is in marriage. Let me correct that. The safest place for sex is between a husband and wife who's completely submitted to God. Because even sex within marriage where both people aren't pursuing God, that's still unstable because that's lust there. Why would God engage or bring oneness into a group of people whose heart are full of lust? Love is sacrificial. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not based upon how can I get mine and how she can get hers. And no. Love is based upon how can I please you more than you pleasing me. But how can we even learn that if we don't even know how to please God, endeavoring to please God more than we think for him to please us? See, the reflection of our relationships or reflections of our marriage or reflections of our sexual life is based upon how we do between God. We're not talking about sexually, but we're talking about our level of intimacy and connection with God will bring into unison when it comes to sex. It's such a bond that I am endeavoring to find out myself because I don't want to be a man that brings lust that's still in my heart into a relationship, because if I got porn in the back of my mind, I'll begin to have sex with her as I viewed what I viewed, and I'm not even making love to her. I'm making love to an image, and she's wondering why you're going so fast, going so hard, because you partaking or practicing what you've been watching. And so we get so caught up in this lustful content to the point to where we get so caught up in, man, I just got to have sex, and it feels so good. It's too potent for us to mess with it right now, because when you mess with it right now, you'll find yourself cutting on a car that you're not willing to drive, a desire that only a marriage can contain. And so what happens when a young girl opens herself up sexually to a man? That man has just said, I made a covenant with you. When a man's private part goes to the woman's hymen, the blood drips, that signifies a covenant. Covenant is not based upon I do at the wedding altar. Covenant is sexual. And many of us have 14, 15, 25 covenants out there. And God is going to judge us based upon those covenants as unrepented. So we have to ask ourselves, do we understand the original definition of sex? That sex is not meant for us to play with loosely, and many of us are still have some things loose on us from our already encounters. When a person finds themselves doing something that only mature people are supposed to do, they'll find themselves emotionally unstable. And I'm guilty. Triggering girls too soon. Making promises that I haven't kept. I've been a young man. I know how it is, and I've repented. Because I understand what happens as soon as you touch, the Bible says, don't awaken love before it's time. Because when you awaken love before it's time, you will find yourselves in the jaws of something far greater than what you expected. When a person begins to make